The UK government has recently made quite a number of changes on immigration rules cut across all visa categories. Practically all visa categories in the UK are affected or being changed by the UK government, basically to be able to meet the need of the country's economy. I've made quite a number of videos to explain and elaborate on some of the changes made on the student visa, skilled worker visa, healthcare visa, and many other visa categories available in the United Kingdom. And if you want to check out some of those videos on this channel. So basically this video is really to address some of the questions asked based on the previous video posted. People are a bit confused about some things. I needed clarification, and I felt quite a lot of people to probably have questions like this that need answer, which is the reason for this video, and also to share my opinion and my thoughts around what it feels like living in the UK in 2023. So just like a chit chat, let's have a conversation. You can state your opinion in the comment section. Let's just have a chat and talk about how we can survive in this country called the UK. So if this is interesting, go ahead and keep watching, and my return subscribers, you guys are amazing. Thank you for being here. So without further ado, let's get right into the video. I don't know if I'm the only one who really likes to watch the House of Commons. Basically for me, I love the banter, the arguments, the confrontations, and at the same time I find it really, really educating, and getting to know what exactly is happening in the UK, the politics, the economy, what's really happening, and getting adequate updates on the happenings in the United Kingdom generally. And the House of Commons is really my go-to. I think I practically watch the House of Commons every day, practically, probably when I'm on my way to work or when I'm working from home or something. I just get to watch and learn and get to know some things happening in the UK. And of recent, the UK has decided to make some changes on the visa categories, ranging from student not being able to switch to skilled worker visa except they are done with the program, or the start date of the program is after their program. The start date of their new job is after their program ends, and many other visa category changes, increase in IHS fee and many others. There have been a lot of questions asked, some which I've been able to answer, some which I couldn't get through because of the number of questions asked in the comment section. So I decided to pick up some of them and discuss in this video. Now, one of the questions most people have asked is that as the IHS fee increase, or the increase in IHS fee and visa fee being implemented. Now, as I was making this video, I think today is 20th of July 2023. It's only been announced, it hasn't been implemented yet. There's no changes on the IHS fee on the gov.uk at the moment. It might change tomorrow morning, it might change next minute, but for now it's not been implemented. So I think basically people who are paying for any visa now will still probably pay with the current rate, which is I think 624 thereabout for the IHS fee, and the visa fee depending on the visa category you're applying for. Now the second or another question being asked is, what can a dependent of a student switch to a tier 2 visa before the end of the program? Now, it was categorically stated on the UK Gov that students or people on student visa, there was no clear definition if these also include dependents of the students. So basically, in my own opinion, I think dependent of students or dependent of people on student visa can work unlimited number of hours, which I believe they can also switch to a tier 2 visa. Now the only difference is that the students will not be able to switch to being the dependent of the dependent who got a tier 2 visa. I don't know if that makes sense. So the student probably needs to wait until he or she completes his or her program, then switch to the partner's tier 2 visa as a dependent, which I believe that's definitely what is going to happen. And if you've been following the news, you know that the UK is really going through a lot at the moment. The economy is not booming as it used to. There's increased cost of living crisis in the UK is top notch. Honestly, if you come to the UK, you can attest to this fact. The prices of things has gone up, and in as much as the price of things has gone up, many people still maintain the same salary, wages, depending on the kind of job you're doing. So people are not earning more, but the cost of things has gone up really significantly. And this is not just affecting immigrants, this is also affecting the citizens of this country. Many of the highly educated, British are moving. Some of them are moving to Australia. Most of them are moving to Dubai. Most of them have moved to different countries, outside the United Kingdom. So that's to tell you, if the people who own the country, some of them are moving, those are highly skilled. I've got most of their doctors and nurses are moving to other countries, and which is one of the reasons why they needed us to come in. And in my opinion, I think many people have been saying in the comment section that the university or the universities or the educational sector generally in the UK has made enough money from immigrants. The truth is they haven't even made enough money. They will always need to make money from immigrants, because we practically donate, or we practically pull more funds into the educational sector than the government and the citizens, to be honest, because the amount we pay probably 3 times what their own students pay. And I was going on Instagram over the week, because it's summer graduation, so many people are graduating from different universities across the UK, and I could barely see British people graduating from any of those universities. For every one British student you see, you probably see like 200 African or Asian students graduating. I try to take my time to just look at people going through the stage during the graduation ceremony, and that's to show you that the immigrants are the ones really funding most of the universities in the UK. And I think all these changes made by the UK government is a strategy. And as I said in my previous video, that the UK wouldn't make a decision without doing their numbers. They must have really done their number for making that decision. So for people who are thinking of coming to the UK in 2024, and one thing you need to put in mind is that if you're coming to the UK in 2024, you must have it in mind that you can't come in with a dependent if you're coming in for a master's program, except you're coming for a research program, which is usually PhD. You might or you won't be able to bring in your dependent. So the only way to stay back in the UK or to be able to bring your family in is to come in as a student if you've got a family. If you're a single person who is not married, who has got no dependents, then good for you. You can come in just as always. But for those who've got families, wife and kids back home, the only way to bring your family in now is for you to come into the UK, do your masters. After your masters, you get a job and be on it, get a tier 2 visa, then you can bring in your family. So the dependent visa only affects those coming on the student visa. Those coming in for a skilled worker, it's not being affected. And my reason, I was like, okay, if you're coming in for a master's program, and mind you can't switch to a tier 2 visa during your program, it means that there's high chances of people applying for post-study work visa, because if you get a job 8 months to the end of a program, the employer is not going to wait for that 8 months. You probably lose the job, and by the time you start applying, for those who have gotten a job in the UK, many of you know that it takes months to get or land a job. I'm talking from experience, and I know it's the same with so many people who have gotten a professional job in the UK. So if you're coming to the UK to get a job, you probably the number of people applying for the post-study work visa is going to increase significantly. I got my job before I finished my program, although I resumed after my program ended, and that was because I got a job like 2 months before the end of my program. I've got a couple of friends who got their job 6 months before the end of the program, started the job before the end of the I know one who even went who relocated to start his program, to start his new job, and was doing this project from his new job location. So basically that has changed. So people will end up applying more for post-study, and as we all know, IHS fee is also increasing. So I'm sure the UK government has a strategy of making the money one way or the other if there's a reduction in the number of student visa coming in. And for a fact, I doubt it's really going to reduce, because people are still coming to the UK. There's a lot of demand. There's a lot of demand for UK student visa, and which is the reason why they made that decision. Anyway, that's the situation in the UK right now. So if you're coming to the UK in 2024, make sure you're strategic and you know what you're coming in for. And if you're coming to the UK like me, we have to survive. We're going to hold each other's hands through through this journey, and I know it's going to be well. So anyway, that's the end of this video, guys. If you find this video, also click on the like button. If you're coming across my channel for the first time, hit the subscribe button, and if you have been watching my video, I will subscribe, hit the subscribe button. I'm my 20 subscribers. You guys are amazing. Thank you for being here. So this will be the end of this video, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Thank you.